Hi, it's Evelyn. Day number 27. Is it 27 or 28? Actually, I can't remember. I think it's 28 actually. Yeah, I think it's 28. Now tonight, and yes, it's late. This is the latest I've ever done a live. I just been so busy today and just got back from my Toastmasters meeting, and I am going to talk about my going to the university I went to. Now, I've been talking the last few days about JFK and LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, as he graduated from the same university that I went to in 1930. So, Texas State University is the only college or university in Texas where there has indeed been a U.S. president as alumni. There you go. So, authorized by the Texas legislature in 1899, Southwest Texas State Normal School, that's what it was called, opens its doors in 1903. Now, over the years, it's had many, many different names. It was called Southwest Texas State Normal School, and then it changed in 1918 to Southwest Texas State Normal College. And then, 4 years later, 1923, Southwest Texas State Teachers College. That is what the name of the school was when Lyndon Baines Johnson graduated. And then in 1959, it was changed again to Southwest Texas State College. 10 years later, 1969, it was called Southwest Texas State University. That's what I knew it as. And it stayed that name for many, many years until 2003. It changed its name to Texas State University San Marcos. 10 years later, 2013, now it's Texas State University, and that is the school I went to. So many different name changes. Now, when I graduated in 1987, there were 22,000 students, but now 40,000. So in the 23 or 33, gosh, my math is so bad, 33 years that I'll have to figure that out. I've graduated, it's grown that much. Now, I know I shared with you, so my first year of college, I went to college with my girlfriend Arlene. When I went to college with Arlene to East Texas State, I met Darlene, and Darlene was going to San Marcos. I wasn't really sure where I was going the second year. I thought I was going to UT, but when I drove through with Darlene and saw the beautiful river, San Marcos River, flowing through the campus, that was the place for me. So me and Darlene, here's a photo of me and her in our dorm. We didn't stay in the same dorm, but I stayed at Lantana Hall, and she stayed I think she was at Sterry Hall. There were a few dormitories in San Marcos. Also, it was required your freshman and sophomore year that you actually live on campus, which I thought was a fantastic idea. I absolutely loved living on campus. Now they have over 8,000 beds to give out as camp accommodation, which is on campus, and it was great because I could just walk up to my classes. Meals were included. Of course, the accommodation was different. You could have, a whole hallway of rooms, and then you'd have to share a community bathroom, or you could spend a little bit more and have two interconnecting rooms, and then they would share the bathroom in the middle. Of course, money was a bit tight, so I was in a long hall of rooms, and we had a community bathroom. And yeah, I must say I didn't like that. I sort of, I just didn't like, the showers and the bathroom, just felt embarrassed if, doing a wee or even, just anything. Sometimes I set my alarm really late so I could go to the bathroom because I was just embarrassed, or, Anyways, here's me in my little dorm room there. I had half the room, and I shared it with my roommate, Judy. So there's my roommate, Judy. right there. And then Darlene is next to me. So I hung out with Darlene that first year. Here we are at Safeway. Safeway was a very busy place that we went to. Of course, the meals were provided at our cafeteria, but we still like to go to Safeway and get some snacks. So, yeah. So we enjoyed our first year in San Marcos. It was absolutely fantastic. I do want to show this photo, which is Old Main. Old Main is the main building, the first building, and the main building is what's called Old Main, that was built in San Marcos, and it's opened its doors in 1903 and was the only building there until 1908. And now it is, as I can show you here, it's, this is where there's Old Main right there. And then, of course, right next to it is the library that I went to. Now, remember, this was before the internet. So a lot of time was spent in the library, taking 2 hours to find one bit of information. Times were so different back then, and we had to type up our reports, our essays. It was very different. Here's the library. I actually took a lot of photos of the library because I really enjoyed spending time at the library. It was a bit of a social hub. There were so many people who went to the library to study. I remember we didn't have computers. So I graduated in '87. And what I love about Old Main, which you can see right there, that is where the communications department was. And that is what I studied. I got my bachelor's in public relations. So most of my classes were in Old Main, and I loved it because it was a historic building. I was also a business minor, so I also took a lot of courses at the other end of campus. So I majored in public relations and I minored in business. So tomorrow I am going to talk about a business fraternity I joined, and it was called Phi Chi Theta. I found my card. Look, it's from 1984. I can't believe it. So 40 years ago, I joined this organization that really did change my life. And I also want to talk about other clubs I've joined through that time in San Marcos and some of the friendships I've made. And they're still my friends now, and I love it. So yeah, I'll be talking about that tomorrow. And yeah, I just wanted to introduce you to the university, Texas State University, which used to be called Southwest Texas State. And I just have one more photo that I want to share. So that is it right there, and that is where San Marcos is right there. San Marcos is right there. It's called Bobcat Country. The town, San Marcos, only 54,000 is the population. So pretty much when college, when the university students are there, it is busy. It's busy, and the population does go up when the students are there. So thank you so much. This is Evelyn. It's day 28 of my live video challenge, Heart and Soul with Evelyn. Thank you so much. I look forward to your company tomorrow.